Hi, it's Eileen here. Today's prompt asks the question, how do you know your own boundaries? This question came to me in the middle of the night, and I at first backed away from it. Oh, I thought, don't go there. And then I thought, if we're going to continue to do this work together, writing to heal, there can't be a topic that's off purpose or off the table. And knowing our own boundaries will really be important for the work ahead. I've been following the blog of a family therapist named Diane Lancer, and she puts forth that there are five kind of boundaries that she likes to think about in the work that she does in counseling the individuals she works with. One is material boundary, the boundary around things, money, etc. Another is a physical boundary, the boundary of just your own body, your own sense of self. The emotional boundary, your boundaries around feelings, your thoughts, your values, your core beliefs. Uh, a fourth boundary, sexual boundary, clearly a boundary around your rights to your own sense, what you're comfortable with, your comfort level with sexual touch. And finally, a spiritual boundary, your comfort level with your how you relate to whomever you call your higher being. In my own case, I think about material boundaries. They're less relevant for me. I don't really care so much. I don't hold on to things. But if my brother comes and borrows $100, then I think, oh, well, that's a material boundary that's crossed. I may not see that $100 again. In emotional boundaries, I think about how hard it is for me often if we go out with friends and somebody orders a wonderful piece of chocolate cake, and I think to myself, I'm not going to eat it, but then a shared piece shows up in front of me, and I find, I'm going to eat it after all. In the area of physical boundaries, somebody gives me a hug, and I feel like the hug has gone on too long or it's too close. I need to speak out and say, whoa, that was a tight hug. In the area of sexual boundaries, as parents, as daughters, as sisters, as aunties, we're always trying to teach our children about what's a safe touch. But that's information, or that education, that ongoing education about safe touch, is important for us too as adults. And finally, spiritual health, spiritual boundaries. So those boundaries that you create to be to have that safe ongoing dialogue with the person, the individual, the being that you call your higher being. These are troubling times. There's bullies that attack a young woman coming home from a mosque. There are bullies in our political system. There are bullies who as wearing a badge, who transgress the boundary between their space on the outside of a car and a black individual's space on the inside of a car. The individual, the police officer on the outside, feels that his boundary has been invaded. He feels he's not safe, but the individual who ends up dead is the black individual. So for me, these are such troubling times. If any of the issues that we've talked about in today's prompt especially are troubling for you, then make sure you take the time to find a friend to talk to or a counselor to talk to, so that these issues don't stay wound up inside you. I have a lot that I want to think about with writing in response to this prompt, but I hope you too will take time to respond to it as we continue to work together as we write to heal. So thank you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for taking part.